How you going today? What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple of watercolor blends. And whew, what would you say? So we've done some color pencil blends. So what I'm going to do is show you exactly the same thing in watercolor. So at the moment I'm working with Graphitint, and they're a Derwent brand pencil. You can use them normally, or you can use them as a watercolor pencil. So let's these are going to be watercolors today, watercolor pencils. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my way of blending watercolor pencils, and it's very simple. So I'm going to do exactly what I did with normal pencils. Just come down, and I'm going to back off with my pressure. Notice I'm holding the pencil at the back, very close to the back. See a lot of people holding it at the front like this, but you lack control when you do that. So it's either on or off, and you can't control the pressure. When you work back, you've actually got many different pressures. So I can go light there, push harder here, and I can back off with the pressure here. Now I'm going to do the second color. I'll start with this first. What I'm going to do, I'll just do this blend. It's just going to be what I call color to clear, so color to paper color. So when I'm about to wet it, what I don't do is I don't start at the top and drag all the paint down, because what happens is the paint will just basically be even. You won't see a gradation going from dark to light. So what I tend to do is I load my brush and I start from the light area. Okay. I like to give it a rub. I like my watercolor pencils smooth. And what I'm doing is I'm sort of rubbing as I'm working up. So I'll do that again. So start in the light area and just rub it, and the pigments start to dissipate, start to go into the water. And that's how you do a watercolor blend. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to do a blend from one color to another color. So what I'll do is I'll start off with one color. Now remember, holding your pencil at the end gives us different pressures, which also helps us to back off and make lighter tones. I'm going to push as hard as I like when I get to the dark, or the top bit. I'm going to grab the second pencil, and I'm going to start hard here, and I'm going to work up and take my pressure off. Now see, the other thing too here is we can't really tell what color it is, or what color these pencils are. It's because they are highly pigmented. When the more higher in pigment a lot of colors are, the less you can tell what they are until they're wet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just test, see which is the lighter and darker color. The bottom color is actually lighter. Now, like my rule of thumb was before, I started from light to dark. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start from my lighter color, just loading it up with more water, and then what I'm going to do is, as I'm rubbing, I'm going to work up to the darker color. Okay. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to illustrate this further. The Graphitint pencils actually come in tins of 12 and 24. They're very earthy tones. There's a lot of browns in them, a lot of muted blues. And when I say muted, I mean sort of grayed off, grayed off pinks and grayed off yellows and stuff. So they're not really bright, and I like that color palette. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one again. I'm actually going to stick with one of the Graphite Hints, but this time I'm going to go to a lighter color from a normal color pencil range. We're going to use a Lyra Aquarelle pencil or watercolor pencil. So I'm going to do this exercise again. We're going to start dark and back off with the pressure, so we go lighter. Now this is really just to show you a better example of going from a lighter color to a darker color. Got the Graphite Hint on top. What we're going to do is I'm going to have this violety color, a light violet in the Lyra. Okay, and it's quite obvious where I am that the violet Lyra color is lighter. So again, I'm going to start from the light color. Now the light color could be on top. I'd still start on the light color. So it doesn't matter where the light color is. We're going to start from there. So there's our Lyra watercolor pencil. And just working and rubbing up. And working up through that darker Graphite Hint. And just leave it, don't fiddle around with it too much because it looks fresh, and because it's still wet it'll still the pigments will still dissipate. At the moment as well I'm using Arches 300 GSM, looks like rough, and that's another reason why I've got a lot of texture in there.